This is a match between the old style of pressing Shift A and adding nodes manually and the new style in which you use shortcuts. I've sped up the footage 5 times faster, and one of them, as you can see, has reached 1 minute and 27 seconds while the other has reached only a whopping 47 seconds. Which means that by using shortcuts you can be 185% faster, or you can use that additional time to organize your workflow. And as 3D artists, we know how valuable our time is, and that's why in this video I'll show you the best ways to speed up your texturing process. Let's hop into Blender and start shortcutting.
Click on the shader editor. Right off the bat, we always have a noise texture, a Musgrave texture, or a Voronoi texture. And since we use the noise texture so many times, I'm going to press Shift A, go over to texture, and then go to noise texture and right click. And here you can add a shortcut. I'm going to press Shift 1. Shift 1 is a nice shortcut to have because it's close to the left hand. It allows you to add textures easily. I've done the same things for the Musgrave texture, which is on Shift 2, and the Voronoi texture, Shift 3. We can press Shift 1 to bring in a noise texture. The next shortcut will be Ctrl T, which adds in a texture coordinate and a mapping node. Now, one other thing that we always need is a color ramp. And a color ramp is in the Converter tab, right over here. I made a shortcut and I've set it to Ctrl Q,
which stands for quickly give me my color ramp.
Press Ctrl Q and it adds a color ramp. This speeds up our workflow significantly, because now we can add in textures very easily and make some color ramps to go with it. Of course, the noise texture has several different options and you can press Ctrl Shift and scroll to change the values. However, it's very slow, so I still recommend using the slider with your mouse. I'm going to bring in a new texture and mix it with this. So I'm going to press Shift 2 to add a Musgrave texture. And in order to see what we're doing, I'm going to press Ctrl Shift click. That lets us preview. I'm going to bring in another color ramp by pressing Ctrl Q, select both color ramps and press Ctrl 0. It will automatically make a mix node. We can shift the output of the mix node with Alt S, and it changes the arrangement of the sockets. Add another couple of textures, Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3, and let's connect them all together. So I'm going to press on Shift A and bring in a bump map. Distance into the height, the normal into the normal. As you can see, we have a lot of textures that are not connected to the mapping node. So place the mapping node right here, select all of these textures and shift click on the mapping node. Now we can press K to connect all of these to the selected node. Ctrl 0 makes a mix RGB, but what happens if we make another principal BSDF? Select both the principal BSDFs and press Ctrl 0, it automatically makes a mix shader, which is nice. Click on the top BSDF and press Ctrl Shift T, and now you can select the texture. So add in a texture. This automatically makes a texture setup. I don't like the way this noise texture looks though, so another shortcut we can use is not to press delete, but to press backspace, and it will reset the node. Now here's another trick. I'm going to adjust this color ramp, but it just so happens that I want the same color ramp over here. So I'll press this one first and then the one I want to have copied, and press Shift C. Click on settings from active. Now this color ramp is the same as this color ramp. As you can see, everything looks very messy, so we can do some organization. If you select these two and press Shift is, then it will align with even spacing. You can do the same for this one and the same for these. I'm going to duplicate this bump because I want to have some more bump. I'm going to place it right here. It connects automatically to the normal map. I'm going to use this color ramp as the height in this case, but as you can see, a lot of the noodles are tangled up. So we can do Shift right mouse button and slide it right through here, and it makes another hub. Right here we can do it once again, and it even shows a little arrow pointing in which direction the line is going. So everything looks way more organized. If you want to change the way the noodles look, go to Preferences and click on Themes, Node Editor, and then somewhere at the bottom we see Noodle Curving. Now have a look at my noodles as I change this value. It either becomes more noodly or it becomes straight. I like mine on 3 because I like the noodles. Don't touch my noodles. But at the same time, I like my nodes to be organized. So shift right click and swipe for a noodle hub. If you want to break a noodle, you can press Ctrl right mouse click and cut right through it. You can also reconnect them, but it's still quite unorganized. So what we can do is make a frame with its own color. So I'm going to select all the nodes that comprise our base color, and I'm going to press Shift P, and right over here we can see label. It allows us to write down a name. I'm going to call this base color. I'll open the color and give it a green flashy color. Bring all of these down and press Shift-Is to get it aligned. Shift-P to create a frame. I'll call it bump and give it a color, orange. Now everything looks nice and organized, but we can go one step further. Cut the lines, make a new one, just like the default cube, and then Shift right mouse slide, connect the lines to the hub. In this way we can organize our nodes by adding frames, aligning them and giving them names, by cutting the lines or adding new lines. We can view a node by pressing Ctrl Shift left click. And then we can see the separate nodes and what they do. And we can also speed up our workflow by using the shortcuts I laid down before. So, to quickly create the textures you need and the color ramps which we always need, don't press Shift A anymore to search for a color ramp, because it's so much more work than simply doing this.
If you want to truly cement these techniques into your workflow, I highly recommend watching the next tutorial as well. It's right over here, and it is about a procedural stone material. And I'll use all the shortcuts that we've used in this video, so it really cements in your memory. Here's a screenshot of all the shortcuts I used in this video, so you can easily find it back later. Subscribe.